Some of the best American history home tours are right here in Virginia, so I'm gonna take you around and show you some. I'm Lauren C. Ray, a vegan traveler who travels to a new city every month, and this month is Richmond. First off is Thomas Jefferson's Monticello. Thomas Jefferson started building Monticello in 1809 and tore it down and rebuilt it several times over a period of 40 years. When you enter the house, you see his entrance hall, which is basically a collection of Thomas Jefferson's things that he either got on his travels or had sent to him from other people's travels. They even have a set of antlers from the Lewis and Clark expedition, and this amazing bust that Thomas had done of himself with a Greek tunic on. Next up is his study, which also doubled as his bedroom because he basically liked to get up and work all day and then quickly be able to go to sleep. Thomas Jefferson loved books, which is partly why he was in intense debt most of his life, because he kept buying things that he really liked. He was a studier of all things, so he liked to read up and learn a bunch of stuff. Then there's the sitting room, which is really cool because you can see the Thomas Jefferson family in silhouettes hanging on the wall, and some other late colonial period furnishings. Thomas wasn't the most organized man, and I kind of attribute to that he lost his wife early in his life, so he basically put whatever he wanted wherever he wanted and just had collectibles everywhere. So he had several different places where he liked to write letters and do his studies. This is one of my favorite rooms. It basically has a bunch of paintings of all of his friends. You see John Adams, you see George Washington. Next, you move through to the dining room, which also looks like an area to enjoy cocktails and talking and reading, and of course a place to have some delicious food. Externally connected from the house, which was tradition in those times, is the kitchen, so you can kind of see where all of the enslaved people cooked his meals. And you also get to see Thomas Jefferson's car, which in those times was just basically a carriage, and he designed it himself. Thomas Jefferson owned 600 enslaved people throughout his life, and one cool thing about Monticello is that they do tell the story of those enslaved people, and you get to see some of their houses. They also discuss the Sally Hemings controversy, where he had 6 children with Sally Hemings, who was an enslaved worker who worked at Monticello. They have lots of information on that, as well as the homes that the enslaved workers lived in. On your walk back down the mountain, you get to see where Thomas Jefferson and the rest of his family are buried. On his gravestone, he requested that he would just have that he was the author of the Declaration of Independence and the Statutes of Virginia for religious freedom, and he was the father of the University of Virginia. He did not want the fact that he was president of the United States there. If you have time down in Charlottesville, you can visit the University of Virginia, which Thomas Jefferson did found, and you can see the rotunda that he himself designed. And also you can visit Edgar Allan Poe's dorm room, which is also there. Okay, so we just got done seeing Thomas Jefferson's house. Really cool, as you heard when I did the tour just a second ago. I'm sure I did some beautiful voiceovers there. Told Lucas it was so weird. We were like at Thomas Jefferson's house, and actually it seems small on the outside, but the inside had a lot of rooms, and upstairs apparently they have like 9 bedrooms. What was your favorite part, you would say?
Definitely Jefferson's bedroom.
Thomas Jefferson's bedroom was my favorite too, because it's also his office, so you can kind of see like how he slept, worked, and played and everything like that. He's a controversial figure. I like a lot of the things he did, like freedom of religion, Declaration of Independence. He kind of started all that sort of pursuit of happiness vibe. But yeah,
there's a lot of controversy.
Enslaved people and the Sally Hemings drama. Yeah, he's interesting, isn't he? Apparently to this day, they still bury the descendants of Thomas Jefferson there. So I was like, dang, that's really cool. So you can be buried there if you're related to him, which I am not. I highly recommend it. It's really cool. And then after that, we got some vegan food in downtown Charlottesville. Because dessert is a must. And we have almond milk choices. Chocolate and coffee flavored.
I like it.
Chocolate is like life.
Yeah, it's really
Chocolate
good.
is like, and the coffee really has coffee in it. It's very coffee-like. It's a good mix. Welcome to George Washington's house. We're gonna check out Mount Vernon. That's where he lived, and all his grounds and amazing things like that. It looks epic. Camera's not gonna follow me. It looks epic. So let's go. We have made it to George Washington's house. We're going on a tour here in a second. I'll show you guys all around, but he has an insane view of the Potomac River. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to show you that view, and then we'll go into the house. Potomac River gorgeousness, just as we promised. This is his view from his backyard or front yard, whatever you want to call it.
It's beautiful.
It's like amazing. And they also set up a bunch of chairs for people to ponder if they want, which I love. George Washington started building Mount Vernon in 1757 and over time added expansions. So the first room you enter is the entrance hall, where he has several portraits. Next is the ballroom where the Washingtons used to host parties and tons of balls. Then there's the formal sitting room, which has some lovely blue furniture, and the dining room, where it is painted green, because apparently green was good for digestion. Well, at least that's what they believed in the 1700s, and also showed your wealth because the color green was hard to come by. And then you got to see one bedroom on the first floor. Apparently, Betsy Ross, who sewed the first flag of the US, also sewed several of his furnishings. My favorite room of the house was George Washington's office. They even had his actual desks that he used to write all of his letters and do his work at. Detached separately from the house, classic, is the kitchen. Then you can go through other buildings at Mount Vernon, like where the enslaved workers did the laundry and where his cars were. And this car is basically just a rocking chair on wheels. But you also got to see his more fancy carriage. Next to that is where he kept his mules, and right by the river you can see where he kept his ice house. Then you can visit the Washington's mausoleum, where George and Martha are entombed in marble sarcophaguses. Sarcophagi? Which is it? Which one? Also, like Jefferson's Monticello, they did make sure to touch on all the enslaved people that used to work the grounds at Mount Vernon. George Washington is the only founding father that freed his slaves upon his death. Also on your walk, you get to see a tree that is from the time when George Washington lived there. Woo! We just made it out of George Washington's Mount Vernon, and as you can tell, it's a little darker out because it's closed. And they were like, get out, it's closed, basically to us,
hey,
because...
what are you still doing here?
Well, we took a tour through the house, which was really fast, actually. There wasn't much going on. Usually you can see the upstairs bedrooms, but not during COVID, so I'm kind of sad about that. And sorry about the loud noise. There's cars next to this road as we walk out. But then they also have a museum about the enslaved people of Mount Vernon and also his life story. Scientists examined his clothing and his paintings and did real life,
like 3D
mannequins.
I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, I'll pop up pictures of that right here. But yeah, that was super epic. You couldn't film inside the museum parts, but oh my gosh, they had his dentures he wore. I'll show you a picture of that. It was just epic. So if you come to Mount Vernon, make sure to give yourself plenty of time to go to the museum afterwards, because it was the coolest part, personally, to me, and you learn more. So we are the last ones in the parking lot. As you can see, this is just so classic us.
I can't find our car anywhere.
I know, it's really hard to pick. Which one? What was our car looking like again? And our last stop is the White House of the Confederate States of America, the Jefferson Davis home during the Civil War. Let's go in and check it out. So this was a private residence in Richmond who actually sold it to the state of Virginia, who in turn gave it to Jefferson Davis to stay in during the Civil War. He was the president of the South of the Confederate States of America, and this is where he conducted his business and his family lived during that time. Davis lived here in the 1860s, and a lot of the furnishings are from that time, and they were very elegant. The first stop is the dining room. The drapes, furniture, and wallpaper are all reproductions of the original. Next, you entered the sitting space in the living room, which is where they hosted balls and parties during their time there. And the last room you got to see, because of COVID, we couldn't go upstairs again, was the sitting space. This is where Jefferson Davis and Robert E. Lee spoke of tactics during the war. We really enjoyed this museum. I think it's really important to stop by here and also the Civil War Museum in Richmond, just to get different perspectives of how people saw the Civil War then and still today. It's a really great learning experience and just altogether super important to learn. And that's it for the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more home tours and travel tips and great things like that. And I will see you next video. Goodbye.